Now, breaking news from CBS 17 News.
Breaking news from CBS 17, I'm Bill Young.
And I'm Brea Hollingsworth. Any moment now, we expect an update on the impacts that Debby left across our state. Let's get to Governor Roy Cooper.
Tornadoes, strong wind gusts, and flooding caused power outages and damage across North Carolina. Power restoration crews continue to work diligently to restore electricity. Outages totaled almost 500,000 during the day yesterday. They're down to close to 20,000 now, so about 20,000 power outages now. Make no mistake, this stubborn storm and its effects are not over. Though North Carolina has not seen the sustained damaging high winds that come with a hurricane, this storm brought us slow-moving, relentless rainfall across several tornadoes across our state. One has been confirmed by the National Weather Service, but we believe more tornadoes will be confirmed today. We hope there won't be any more, but it takes a little while for the National Weather Service to confirm them. And we must continue to be prepared. Multiple river gauges are at major flood stage, and additional flooding could occur this weekend or early next week. You can see that information at fiman.nc.gov. That's F-I-M-A-N, fiman.nc.gov. And over the next several days, likely afternoon showers will increase the threat of additional flash flooding, especially across eastern North Carolina. Yesterday, I went down east and met with first responders at two stops in Kinston and looked at damage caused by suspected tornadoes that hit Lucama in Wilson County. I am so grateful for the efforts of our first responders, as well as the resilient spirit of the people who have been impacted by severe weather. Teams will be there to help as you recover. The State Emergency Response Team will also continue its work. We've activated more than 374 soldiers and airmen from the North Carolina National Guard and deployed swiftwater rescue teams that have been engaged in getting people to safety. Our Department of Transportation has been working to clear roads and to warn people about flooded areas and downed trees. We're grateful for their work and the efforts of all of our first responders. Because the water from this storm will continue to impact some communities for several days, we ask people to keep listening to local officials, evacuate if you're advised to do so, and don't drive through flood waters. If you're told to evacuate, get out of the danger zone. Several shelters are open for those who need them, and you can visit your county government website or visit readync.gov for more information. Today, I'm joined by Emergency Management Director Will Ray, Transportation Secretary Joey Hopkins, Attorney General Josh Stein, the Adjutant General of the North Carolina National Guard, Major General Todd Hunt, the Commander of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, Colonel Freddie Johnson, Emergency Management Assistant Director for Planning, Katie Webster, and FEMA Federal Coordinating Officer Rod McAllister. We also have FEMA Region 4 Administrator Robert Saman, who is also with us on the ground here in Raleigh. Our American Sign Language interpreter is David Payne, and behind the scenes, our Spanish language interpreters are Jackie Mativier and Erica Kugler. At this time, I will ask Director Ray for his update.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. We're continuing to experience the impacts from Debby as the system fully exits the state today. From tornado damage to flash flooding, communities across our state have been and continue to be engaged in response efforts. We have reports of tornado touchdowns or related damage in Wilson, Franklin, Greene, Sampson, and Pender counties. The National Weather Service has confirmed that an EF2 tornado touchdown in Greene County community of Snow Hill at 2:08 a.m. on Thursday morning. The National Weather Service in Raleigh will be conducting damage assessments on the other reported tornadoes today. As of this morning, there are just under 20,000 power outages statewide. Utility partners remain engaged here at the state EOC and are continuing restoration operations statewide. In many areas, trees have fallen due to saturated soil and have taken down power lines. Please treat all downed power lines as energized and do not approach them. We have 27 local states of emergency and 1 jurisdiction with a voluntary evacuation order remaining in place. 9 shelters remain open with approximately 56 occupants as of overnight. Inland riverine flooding remains the primary threat to North Carolina as a result of Debby. Due to the extensive rainfall on already saturated ground, we are monitoring levels on a number of our river basins, where as of this morning, 5 flood gauges are at moderate or high flooding, including the Lumber River at Lumberton, the Tar River at Lewisburg, the Neuse River at Clayton, the Haw River, and the Lower PD River. An additional 7 flood gauges are forecast to moderate or major flood stage through the weekend and into the beginning of the week, including the Cape Fear River, the Neuse, the Black, the Northeast Cape Fear, and portions of the Lumber and Tar Rivers, as well as the Haw River. There were several dam breaches yesterday, and we are monitoring 7 additional dams across the state with our partners in the Department of Environmental Quality. Our deployed swiftwater rescue teams remain on station across the state to support local operations as needed, and since Wednesday have had over 170 interactions. This could be structures searched or individuals evacuated or rescued. The men and women of the North Carolina National Guard and the State Highway Patrol also remain deployed across the state to support local jurisdictions, and as the skies begin to clear, aviation assets from both agencies are being brought up as a part of the North Carolina Helo Aquatic Rescue Program to assist with search and rescue as well as commodity shipments to impacted communities. We are also bringing in 2 heavy lift helicopters via Interstate Mutual Aid to be on station in North Carolina to support large-scale movement if needed. A state medical support shelter for those that have had to evacuate but need skilled medical care has been established by the North Carolina Office of EMS, our healthcare coalitions, and our partners in the state medical response system. The site in the Sandhills area became operational yesterday afternoon. As the rivers crest in the coming days and cleanup begins in areas that have experienced damage, please avoid travel if possible. If you must travel, please visit drivenc.gov to check roadway status. This website is updated regularly by our partners in the North Carolina Department of Transportation. Yesterday, FEMA approved 8 additional counties to be added to the pre-landfall declaration that we received earlier in the week: Allegheny, Cabarrus, Iredell, Mecklenburg, Rowan, Stanley, Union, and Wilkes. This is in addition to the previously approved 66 counties. And as a reminder, this is to support initial emergency protective measures related to mass care, including evacuation and sheltering and direct federal assistance. As we look to transition from active response into recovery over the next week, we will work with our local jurisdictions on damage assessments to assist in determining eligibility for additional state or federal programs. For those that are in flood-prone areas, please make sure you are informed, that you have a plan of action to quickly evacuate if necessary, and that you're receiving information from reliable sources, such as local emergency management offices and the National Weather Service. Enable emergency alerts on your mobile device to make sure you receive those life-saving notifications. As a reminder, the North Carolina Flood Inundation Mapping and Alert Network, or FIMAN, provides access to the state's nearly 600 river flood gauges. As the governor said, visit fiman.nc.gov and sign up for alerts for the gauges closest to your home. Remember to utilize 911 only for emergencies. We would ask you to remain alert, informed, and check on your neighbors and those in your community who may need assistance. Together, taking care of our families, neighbors, and our communities, we are stronger and make for more resilient communities. Finally, I want to acknowledge and thank those that have left their families and worked long hours, responded to emergency calls for assistance, and have staffed emergency operations centers and incident command posts across our state to keep all North Carolinians safe. Thank you.
You have been listening to Governor Cooper and then Director of Emergency Management William Ray talking about the aftermath of the storms and the damage that we have seen as a result of Debby coming through our area on Thursday. The ongoing concern, of course, as you heard, is going to be the flooding. We have team coverage continuing today at noon.
Yeah, we thank you for joining us for this breaking news update. Our coverage continues right now on CBS17.com and in the CBS 17 News app.